Dumelang Sanvanani, greetings. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Thank you so much for those who have clicked here and have landed here. Yes, if you know this space from somewhere else, no, it's a different space now. So we decided that we're gonna migrate all our episodes from the other platform to here so that it's got its own space and its own energy because yeah, some cases do get quite heavy and we need to, uncleanse and not uncleanse, cleanse it off and unpack and undress the case because these are, yeah, really, really horrid situations that we do cover here. At times, sometimes we do take it a bit light, but yes, we have migrated all 13 episodes from our old platform to the space here. So thank you so, so much for those who migrated with us and those who are new here. Thank you so much for indulging in the content. Thank you so much for those who made suggestions as well, how we can make this a better space and have better engagement. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate the advices as well. And for those who are like, okay, but that's not what we do here. Yes. So when you see the yellow dog and we're sparking up a doobie sometimes, so you definitely know that we are doing true crime and we decided to have its own space so that the energy is consistent and also we don't mar too much the energy. It's got its own issues as well. The other platform where we're addressing like the social issues which tend to be a bit heavy. But yes, here we are doing purely true crime. And yes, welcome back. We are on episode 14 now. And yes, let us get into what we are doing here today. Yes, so yeah, so just yes, note when you see the yellow dog and the board here, and sometimes a doobie and this background here, then you know we're doing true crime. So it's not necessarily going to be just in the queer community. We focus on women as well, but we try to cover cases that are also not well covered or not well known, so that we give light to those fallen people as well. But yes, let us get into today's case. It's another sad one, and I thought, in light of the academic year that's beginning right now in South Africa, yeah, let us touch a little bit on these cases because sometimes you don't know. Sometimes it might be the saving grace for somebody else, even though maybe it's covered elsewhere or it's not covered elsewhere. And yeah, I'm not too sure with how activism works, but yeah, whatever light that we can shed or whatever the intention is to maybe stopping all these things, these horrendous things that are happening. And yeah, we are just marking the register on that. So maybe it will be something that changes somebody's life. So that is why we do cover such cases in the form of, yeah, sort of activism. So before we get into today's case, content disclaimers a little bit. So if you're too sensitive to GBV, if it's too triggery for you, it is a case on GBV. There's going to be abuse mentioned. There's going to be an unaliving with the use of a knife. So if that is something that's too triggery for you, please go check out our other platform, StonedQ, where we do yeah, the lighter things and yeah, the not so lighter things, but it's not as gruesome as here. And yeah, with today's case, yeah, those are the content warnings. But also for our platform, I'd like to give this disclaimer as well. Please remember, let's remember, guys, get true crime. So these are real people with real lives and real families and real friends and people who are close to them, people who are true in their lives, who care about them. So let us be kind, let us be respectful in the comment section, even if you don't agree with maybe lifestyle modes or you don't agree with the decision they made or how they led up there. Yeah, and here we don't do victim blaming. So let us, yeah, remember, if we want to engage in the comment section, to be kind on that platform. So let us get into today's case. So today's case, we're going to be covering the case of Ntokozo Mayenzi Xaba, who was only 20 years old when she met her untimely death. So Ntokozo was born in 2002 on the 12th of February. So for me, and yeah, a whole lot of chakra hands, I think, yeah, that would speak a lot maybe on how we would deduce the kind of character that this person had. But they were born to parents whose late now uMatholakele Shezi Xaba, as well as her father Mduduzi Hamilton Xaba. So she had siblings. The number of siblings is not mentioned much in the reports, but she had siblings and also cousins, and also with us as a people, our cousins are our siblings. I know the closest like using the term cousin brother or cousin sister, but yeah, for the rest of us, what my aunt's child is my sister or my brother or whatever it is, whatever title we are family. So she was from a very close knit family, described as somebody who was so caring, even like when her friends would describe her, she was very caring. She'd rather sort out somebody else's situation before she's okay. If everybody else is fine, then she will be fine as well. She was very caring, very loving, very social. A very kind person, and like even the neighbors, the neighborhood people would describe her as like this very respectful person. And yeah, my highlight, she was also very, very, very smart, very smart, very a well balanced person. So Ntokozo, born in 2002, that would make her at the time of her passing away almost 21. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Very young. But anyway, so she started her school in Newcastle. She was born in Newcastle, which is on the northwest of KwaZulu Natal, one of our provinces here in South Africa. So yeah, for those who just deal with north and south, it is like more on the northern side of KZN. And yes, she started her schooling career at Lexington Primary School, where she only did about 3 years at the primary school, and then she moved and finished all the rest of her primary school at Busy Bee Primary School, which were all in Newcastle still. And yes, throughout this primary schooling era as well, she was described as one of the smartest kids in class. She was getting A's throughout, well balanced. Her social life as well was okay. In primary school, you don't have so much of a social life. Actually, you do, yeah, but her making of friends, she was just an amazing friend through and through. And she moved after primary school, she moved to Newcastle High School, where she did matriculate. And yeah, she aligned herself nice, chose even the subjects that, I definitely know that I want to go to a tertiary institution and whatnot and whatnot. And yeah, even in high school, she was part of the hockey team. She was part of, yeah, she did like social activities. She was a prefect as well. Yeah, I don't know what you guys call them nowadays. I remember I'm part of the transitioning people, the ones by we moving from prefects to, is it RCL or RLC? Yeah, that. But she was in leadership positions as well. So, a well balanced being. And I've noticed with like the kids who are very busy, I don't know, for some reason in academia, they did much better, than the ones who just did academics and go home. So extramural activity, check, academics, check, social things at school, check. So she was a very, very well-rounded person. And yes, in the very same high school, she met somebody who she thought was gonna be, at my forever year now, my life partner. We're gonna be doing this life thing together, which we're gonna see later on why I'm saying she met Ngcebo Thusi, who is the perpetrator in this case here. I do not have a lot of background information on him. I don't know if maybe even the family is distancing themselves from him. I don't know, but no, there's no sources that I would find where they would mention him. But yeah, he had friends, so yeah, he was, I guess, a person who was not secluded from social activities, I guess. But yeah, he sounds like, yeah, maybe one of those popular guys in high school. But yeah, they were in the same high school. He was about 3 grades ahead of her, because yeah, the age difference was about 3 years. 2.5 towards 3 years was their age difference. Yeah, and they thought, we're gonna be building this life together, my forever year. And yeah, in high school, not a lot was reported where the relationship was, critical but stable. Yeah, none of that. Yeah, it was, described how no, it was a happy relationship. Probably one of those couples that were known go high school. Ncebo, want to go, because we're in KZN, Ntogo, Ntogo, Ngcebo, or whatever it was. He went to the Tswane University of Technology. Main campus is in Pretoria. Yes, I definitely know because I grew up in Pretoria. So went to TUT. So we'll refer to it as TUT going forward, unless, yeah, I don't know. But Tswane University of Technology, TUT. Yeah, before the merger of universities, yeah, there was, yeah, different namings of things, before us, yeah, there were things like bo Strugelo, yeah, Pretoria Tech. Yes, it used to be called Pretoria Tech. Anyway, so he went off to study chemical engineering. So by virtue of that, those who know, well, Kotax, those who know how difficult chem eng was, just the little dabble of doing organic chemistry, but you can see that there's brains behind this. And he was also quite active in sport as well. So he did land himself in a rugby team. We'll speak about the team also when we're progressing with the story. So he studied chemical engineering for TUT, and yeah, he graduated from TUT. So at the time of when this heinous crime was perpetuated, he was already now working, maybe doing in service or whatever it was. So 23. Yeah, no, maybe I was already working by then because I think by 21 you should be done. If you're finishing record time, let me say that. Anyway, so he was already working, but also part of one of the prestigious rugby teams in South Africa, but the junior team. So he was playing for the Blue Bulls, which is the rugby team Yanko Pretoria. I know they have their so home ground yabo na ke ko Versfeld go Loftus. Yeah, little good today. My colonialism comes the amount of Afrikaans I know. Sad, hey, it's so sad. But yeah, so the Blow Billa, he was part of the junior team, even though he only played one game at the time of this when he perpetrated this crime. But you could see he go practicing, who no star player, and evenly the body for those of us who went to African schools or the dual medium schools we know, yeah, like the rugby boys, Bajwang, it's just unfortunate we didn't have rugby for girls, and yeah, so we didn't get much invested in that. And for us who played sports, we would like at the game, you definitely know you need to go watch the rugby, you need to go watch the hockey, you need to go watch the netball kind of thing. For us, but the African schools, I don't know what you guys did, go your English medium schools. I don't know, but yeah, we're very well versed in such sports and by colonizer in such ways. But anyway, and funny, yeah, I didn't know a lot of Zulu people though that played rugby, but yeah, he played rugby. So a well-built gentleman, do we call him that? Well-built man. And you think, and ki out grand because one more Lena, he had friends. I'm gonna share pictures sa gagwe as well. So you kind of see, we will work with the eye of assumption, because we don't know the behind the scenes about. So clearly, that is why we're covering such cases. Yeah, now she matriculated from her high school, got 2020, the year 2020. Yes, COVID year. Oh, yeah. So she matriculated from Newcastle High School, obviously, with marks that can get her into varsity or whatever it was, but she chose to go to Tswane University of Technology so that she can follow what she thought would be the love of her life, right? Anyway, so she goes to TUT there and then she is studying, she's accepted for integrated communications. Yeah, also the stuff that you guys are studying now, they sound really, really cool. So I'm from, yeah, the generation, they study mainstream. I say, accounting, engineering, so she was studying integrated communication. So I'm not too well versed what that is. Those who do know, they can tell us there in the comment section. But yeah, because of the kind of person, the character building that we did here, we definitely know Khora. Maybe there was probably intention in this. There's probably, this is gonna be my plan. I definitely know the kind of jobs that this thing would afford me, or the kind of thing to give myself a living would afford me to have. Anyway, so in her first year, she did her first year in 2021, and as per norm, njengenjwayelo, she passed, with flying colors. And yeah, second year she did in 2022, and in second year, that's when she realized, hey, you know what, Naman, this relationship is just too much for me, because now Ntokozo had graduated to now being physical with her. He was at a point where, because you can see she's a pretty girl, and I think there is I have pretty friends, so yeah, we share such conversations that like the pretty girl burden, where now like there's certain expectations. The men that you date also, the men or the women that you date have certain expectations about your control, to like have this Madonna effect on you, where no, you're mine. So yeah, Tusi was not very, yeah, healthy in this relationship. And by that time she hadn't opened up to any family member, she hadn't opened up to any of her friends. And it's probably these hashtag relationship goals and whatnot. So that is why, man, the old people would always advise, "Ungahaleli into yomunye umuntu, usikagala into yamuntu omung." Do not be envious of somebody else's life. Live and thrive in your life, because we don't know behind the scenes what so she was a very pretty girl, very social, from her group of friends. I'm gonna share like a little bit of footage as well of the kind of person that she was. She was very, and you know how they say that the eyes are the soul to the are the windows to the soul. So you can see man ke cherry a grand, motho ke cherry a grand. So I guess Uthusi felt, what, I need to cage this girl of mine. So he was very controlling, very abusive. It got to a point where now nasa amotrapa, amu beat her up, and there's not a lot of pictures, or we don't know. No friends, the friends couldn't see it. Gore, no, this person is actually in an abusive relationship, because ya go na di marks or whatever. And I know because I've invested in learning about these things. So apparently, like, abusive people would hit you the parts of the body where people don't see, so that they can also still sanitize this image that they have, gore, no, okay, I'll take rent or ke rent in that kind of situation. And in that, it was also mentioned how she did open up the case, but nothing came of that. She opened up an assault case, but nothing came of that. So I don't know if it was the case of Kibula case, Kitropa case, but I know now they do charge you got perjury if you do such things, because now you're wasting state resources, and also to highlight how serious these things are, and you will, because o tlola molao, you need to account to molao as well. Okay, what gives you the right to be assaulting somebody else? What gives you the right over the body and the what of anybody else? Anyway, so this was, I guess, Kheba Buile Lima girls, hore, um, it's, yeah, this is the situation that's happening, and re tla advise na, but I'm glad it was her decision. And yeah, with part of the girls, I know there's also a cousin or a friend to a cousin who was also very pivotal in um sort of saving her in the situation, because there's times where she would be beaten up. So she would now run from her place of residence and then just go sleep over at the cousin's or the cousin's friend. I can't remember which of the two it was. And yeah, but this did not stop this guy. He would still do the whole trying to get baby back, And I could say, when is it cute, when is it not? For me, I think in serious things like bomber abuse, so, and yeah, I think we need to also categorize cheating as abuse eventually. Mm. But anyway, yeah, but with things like abuse, for me, because that is a boundary, yeah, I like that one like my absolute deal breaker, so there's no talking and no amount of excusing that anybody can do to bring me back into a situation that I escaped from, so to a point where, like, should I ever at some moment, we don't know, life is wrong, maybe Nakibe on the other side and I'm the abuser, I'd be the one who ends the relationship, because what kind of monster am I becoming? Like, what kind of control am I wanting to have over this person? So I would break up with a person if I found myself abusive in that one, and go seek help. So, and I remember there was a social gathering that I went to. I think at that current moment, I was the only one who was not in therapy, or did not have an active therapist or psychologist, psychiatrist, or whatever it was. So I'm glad the hands are putting in the work. And the question I always ask, hands are putting in the work for the hands to go back to the people who don't want to invest in their healing. But anyway, we talk about these things on our other platform. Anyway, so yeah, so there were multiple reports that were filed about this situation that she had Ngcebo, but nothing came of it. And I don't know justice system or policing system ya ko Pretoria jwang. I just know magnificent, yeah, how they escape the justice system. But yeah, le o tshwanetse re mo classify as a fact, because also you're operating ka nobody can have you if I can't have you kind of situation, which is what both magnificent do. Anyway, so he would still be begging, from August air, he'd still be begging, he'd still, what, but now it escalated to a scary level where he's stalking her, Ning Ning go coffee Brooklyn, coffee Brooklyn. Next thing you show up, or you come jive, or you'd know what I'm wearing, or you'd know where I was, or and everything is so in close proximity. And because we attended the same university, and what, I have access, and my face is familiar, and I know how to navigate these spaces. If I've gone to an institution for 3 years, I definitely know how to go to I don't know. I can't even remember the places we call there, but I definitely know. Gore no, from engineering side, going to the BCom side, I know gore ke nka di-double tse feng or eng, or I know the long route there, I know the hidden spots there, kind of situation, Anyway, so Ntokozo only got a break when it was school holidays now, end of the academic year. And I know end of the academic year with most institutions, you pack up your bags, everything, all your belongings, and you're leaving. So I don't know how the people who are out of province and out of country did. What did you guys do with your tutus? Because I didn't live too far from home, luckily, So yeah, I could, yeah, whether it June holidays, December holidays, March holidays, I could easily pack up my stuff to go back home. Anyway, I digress. Commanders, come back. So she got a break at least when she was going home, but also unfortunately, because they are from the same town, it was also kind of tricky, okay, this person won't have access to me, but at least she was home, so he doesn't have too much access where he's gonna cause scenes, which is, yeah, one thing I'm grateful for, that we have as a people, that little bit of, respect for your parents as a people, even though I'm pretentious, but at least I know when I won't come and cause havoc, or shouldn't cause havoc. Some people do overstep the boundary, I guess. Yeah. I think what I noticed as well, KZN, I used to think like this, Jorge. Yeah, like people in KZN are so respectful because rona re gotse ko Gauteng, where we just a crass bunch of people, Rona ba re dumedisa ka bo, hello baby, and guys, stop. It's really not nice. Hello, sweetheart. Hello. Yeah, so yeah, to a point where sometimes I get so angry. I literally want to say, sweetheart, get mao, man. Like, don't, and versus like go KZN we experience where they greet you, sabona mama, sabona CC, and it's not in a manner of shelling you, or maybe I'm naive, I don't know. They're not shelling you, but there's a respectful way that they're greeting. So yeah, so maybe leave this him not wanting to go to a house to cause havoc was because raised in a way which, kabo girl uyahlonitshwa. I don't know, but yeah, she got a little break then, but she had to go back to go finish off diploma. So ka January, the 29th of Jan in 2023, that's when she traveled now from Newcastle, went back to Pretoria. And yeah, in there, Awabona, we catching up. I haven't seen our friends in the longest. We're catching up. The academic year hadn't begun by then, but now you're gonna be registering for the new year, sorting out the admin stuff before school actually begins. So yeah, you get there. She got there early, the 29, and then like 3 days later, her and her homies were chilling, having a little drink o'clock session, chilling with the girls, rakechapa, those who were now only arriving then. Yeah, school is about to start. Let us catch up, girls. What did you guys get up to? Got a holiday? Yo, na kijabile ko so. Nah, I did this, nah, I did that. Yeah, I met this person, Kit December boss. Whatever it was, catching up, having fat times. And then in third year as well, you feel hore, I'm a bit grown, so you either go like to a senior resi, or you're allowed live in a flat, or you know, you don't want to be part of like main building, whatever it is, like you go to the senior annex, whatever it is. So she lived now go Ekaya Junction, which is also a residence, yeah, go TUT. So yeah, I don't know how security works with my race, for example. I know because it was just a female race, the guys were not allowed, especially like in your junior years. But there was like once you're done with first year, there was things like Mama open night where you can bring a boy over. Or if the boys come, Buffalo like in the foyer, they don't go up to the bedrooms or whatever it was. But yeah, go to UT. I don't know how the system works, you know. But yeah, Obileli access her, the brother, he now rolled up with his homies and wanted to go chill Lynn Togozo and her friends. And I ke drink o'clock bachile kumnandi, you know. And yeah, around Boma just before 9, the homies leave, and the girls now ask their friend Ntokozo ukuthi, "Ay, alright, like, can we leave you, Chomi? Are you sure?" Because he's like, "No, girl." He asked because I get gentleman as well, and also these sisters are no lame. We can't say Hore because he played rugby or so aggressive. No, no. I know a lot of gentlemen who played rugby. I know a lot of gentle women who played rugby. Even in boxing, there's the discipline behind it. So maybe Mashaya as well, but I cope nicely. Hey, yeah, no, can I talk to her or whatever it is? So Ntokozo assures her friends and she reassures them that no, guys, it's fine. Let me talk to him. I in that because besingekho sonke, but by deduction and assumption, we shall assume that he was still trying to get her back. But because of the crime that he is charged with, we know so I don't know. So he was charged with premeditated murder, right, as one of the charges. He is charged with two charges, but we're going to that now in a few minutes. So I don't know, do you guys travel with weapons? Is it for protection? I remember I had a post that I asked, because there's a post lying around hore, like in a bag, yeah, ngwanyana. Where do you think this girl is from? So there was a pack of Durex, one company I've wanted to work for. Durex, there was a Boxer Kotli, Lee, and Ogapi. So I remember asking Jorge, okay, do you guys actually know how to use this thing? And yeah, I think, yeah, people commented because now, like, I definitely know. Maybe car flight or fright, I would definitely know how to use it. But I don't know how I'm going to flick that thing and, protect myself. So I don't know. Do you guys like just travel with knives? Because he had a knife. He had a knife. So that is why Obama charges like premeditated murder. So anyway, I guess Khobeli commotion eoge, and also why premeditated. He went for those who watch true crime and those who know the workings of the body. We know who now the artery studying where I definitely know if I'm gonna unalive you or cause a trauma there, I definitely know this is in intention to unalive you. So Abamu stab her multiple times, one about on her neck. And yeah, he left, closed the door, and he left. And yeah, because he's such a stellar citizen, he even got to work so early the next day, Jorge. Like nothing happened. Like nothing happened. Ebile go ba le rugby practice, I rugby practicing, like nothing happened. And yeah, like life yeah goes on just like that. But with Ntokozo now, her friends are trying to get a hold of her the entire night. So with me, I have this situation in place, and I think it's because of the family that I was raised in. Like when we leave each other's houses, ke kopa o ntlelise ko gate-ing, ke kopa o shape peep. Don't leave your soul. Don't leave my soul at the gate or your soul at the gate. Ere peep o tsamaye, or and when you get home, let me know when okay, Grandy, a text, call me, whatever it is, just let me know what Grand, because it would really be unfortunate for right, but big no muntu, So I think Ntokozo and her friends had this kind of situation in place, because Nabamocheka told me, all right, did he leave, and there's no response, and the friends are now getting worried because okay, we went to campus and we're still not seeing her go campus. She's not answering her phone, she's not. And because at least she had let them in on the kind of relationship that they had with this person, they were alarmed. Like I think at that moment I would feel like my legs would not be working at that moment or something. And because I'm in tune with my rosy self, I definitely know I listen to my solar plexus, I listen to my intuition a lot. So they decide, let's go check on this person. They're knocking, they're knocking, they're knocking, they're knocking. No response, like a door in. And like I'm saying, I don't know how access control works for the residents that go TUT. And I don't know if the girls were also in the same res. I do not know. But one of the girls, Kheba spotted a blood spot on the door handle. That's when that feeling comes in and they break in her. That's when they see like her in a pool of blood there on her bed. And yeah, they were made. I know the media is desensitizing us to dead bodies, especially black bodies, but I don't know Babila Sharp. I don't know if they went to therapy, but I think for now personally, that wouldn't be an okay thing for me to see, give a sharp and be able to see. Anyway, cops were called, paramedics were called, and obviously at that time, there is nothing to resuscitate, and maybe if this was discovered or they panicked the night before, it would have been a different story. But unfortunately, Sometimes that's how life is written, or your life is written. Paramedics declare her dead, and yeah, the cops come now. So Sally crime scene, and because the last person that they knew, Nanangle Naki this little monster here, he was their first suspect. But currently, this is Gregorian 2024. He has still not been sentenced, or there's no reports that say that he has been sentenced because it is a public case. So I'm sure there would be reports by now, but there's no sentencing done. But anyway, he gets detained. Ngcebo gets detained, and for fear of his life, again, as self-serving, he declines application for bail. He does not want bail, because now the students who outrageous now. They even held a beautiful night vigil, a remembrance for her. Go to campus with a whole lot of lights. Let's light a candle for this queen. There was outrage, public outrage, on the streets as well. That's how I know about this case as well. On the Twitter streets, or what is called X now, the X streets, the social media streets, Facebook, they go crazy. So imagine also as a parent receiving that call. Imagine also as house mother or house father making that phone call. Yo, guys. This is, yeah, for all parties involved, this is too much. And unfortunately, go TUT, this wasn't the first case, and we hope these cases would be the last. More stringent ways, man, to deal with these things need to be in place. Security needs to be beefed up, because even Habachakadi cameras, there was no verification the brother owner nalemo or not. So which is kind of a security risk. But I think after this case, that was looked into and corrected. I might be wrong, but anyway, the case goes to court, and imagine this was she was found on the 2nd of Feb, and her birthday was in 10 days time. How tragic! How tragic was that? Just before her 21st birthday, and the final year, which was about to graduate, which was what the chancellor at TUT was lamenting, that I'm supposed to be making a different speech right now. Instead, I'm making a speech about something so incredibly, incredibly horrid, incredibly disgusting. And yeah, they were hoping that we're gonna make a speech of it's lo muntu lona who graduated cum laude or whatever it was. And with the Blue Bulls as well put out a statement, because now they will the link between, because I care about character builder gore go etsagalang. So the Blue Bulls, also the chairperson or the spokesperson, also made a speech of how they do not condone GBV. They Yeah, this was also quite shocking. And I think human worth assault right now would also be lamenting in the exact same way as Jorge. What happened here was horrendous. And like also taking into consideration, being empathetic to the family, the friends, and everybody who's involved. So they put out a statement, the university put out a statement, the SRC put out a statement. Even the statement nakaitsiba TUT ke siyayisusa na nini na TUT, if you want a protest, yeah, kwazang bana ba TUT. So they were literally on some, if this guy gets bail, siyamqeda lo muntu lona, siyamqeda. We are literally doing eye for an eye. We are doing exactly that. So I think for self-preservation, Lena is like, I don't want. But eventually, like, I think the last bail hearing that I have reports on was the 13th of June, where he was like now wanting for bail. Because also, look at Danya, they're not gonna look at you nicely way now. Especially because, hey, wabulala umuntu omuhle kanje. Not that the ones who are not muhles do not they don't take it seriously, but the gents ko Danyani, they will tell you but how can you analyze somebody also thinking of the prospects that they had, because also she was now the beacon of light for family yabona. Like, it's really nice to have graduates, I guess, ko family, somebody also maybe not to alleviate ali the stress ko family. And like I mentioned when we we're starting our case, the mother was late at that moment. So we just imagining or she was gonna be calling her graniza, Gogo, thank you for raising me, or whatever it was. She was very close to her grandmother. So also imagine as a grandmother receiving such news about your other child, because your child's child is also a child. It must have been like too much. The father is also not okay. Yeah, and like, daughters are usually one about and yeah, even when the appearances were happening, people say there's no remorse shown, but maybe we don't know. We don't know. The shrinks come into the house, tell us. But yeah, anyway, so at the present moment, he is still not convicted. He's still not sentenced. He was charged with two charges. So the one charge, the Schedule 6 charge, Yonaya premeditated murder. I do not have the Latin terms, and I do not want to copula the Roman, Dutch, and Latin terms anymore. He's charged with premeditated murder and also defeating the ends of justice. And that is the case in Nayarona. We're still waiting. We hope we will do an update when updates do come. Got this case, but I think from this case, let us take, man, the seriousness, of the intimate relationships we find ourselves in. And yeah, even if you've known this person for 5 years, if somebody changes up on you, go. But also we're seeing in such cases that going doesn't guarantee your life, staying doesn't guarantee your life. But yeah, that is, he's also ruined his life, loser. You've also ruined your life. You also had prospects for your life. We don't know ka familia gage, what it says, but yeah, the family ya Ntokozo is very, very torn. It's a wound I think a lot of people would take the longest of times to heal from. This is somebody important. This is somebody maybe you're used to calling them on the daily, and now they know more, and yeah, you don't know how to call them patlaring or whatever it is. But may you rest in power, may you rise in power, actually, may your blood speak, may he be convicted, may he be, and maybe yeah, forgive eventually, whatever it is. But a time ebonagalang, because how dare you? Why do you feel you have the right to somebody else's life like that? Even ladies talking, like if you have brothers, uncles, whatever, let us put measures into place, guys. We've seen a lot of our queens going out in such ways. But yes, without wasting any more time, this is where we are at with our case Ntokozo Mayenzi Xaba, who is currently a very, very sore point for a lot of people, and Ncgebo Thusi, the perpetrator in this case. May you rise in power.